Hello fellow Magic Bunnies, my name's Gary Scott. And welcome to the Magic Bunny Library and my book review. Today in the book chair. We travel back in time to early 20th century magic, to the release of Expert Cigarette Magic by Dee Devine. First published in 1932, this book is regarded as one of the premier publications on cigarette manipulation. So a little something about the author. David Devine, or more commonly known as DeVille Devine, that's really devil, or Dee Devine, was born on the 24th of April 1900, London, England, and died in August 1989. The mystery of Dee Devine as a magician has lasted for more than 80 years. Yet I have recently discovered a rare picture. The marriage at All Saints Church between a Mr. DeVille Devine, that's really devil, and Miss Dodo Giles on the 19th of April 1933. The 1930s were a strange time as many people were fighting unemployment and poverty due to the Great Depression. Pre-World War II entertainment was dominated by music hall in the UK and vaudeville in the USA. Slowly but surely, this kind of entertainment felt the strain of the worldwide financial crisis, yet magicians remained as popular as ever. Dee Devine can be found on many promotional and marketing posters during this time. Some were even written as Devine and his New York Blondes. Yet through all of this, we still have very little information. We know he headlined many theatre shows and was an accomplished manipulator. He's also infamous amongst magicians for authoring work on cigarette magic. Although only a few publications appear with the name Devine, there have been several name alternatives along the way. His first publication in 1929 came under the title Cigarette Magic and Manipulation, and this was under the name DeVille Devine. That's really devil. And this was followed in 1932 by the book we are reviewing today, Expert Cigarette Magic, and this was under the name Dee Devine. Today we are looking at the second edition from 1934. The study of this book couldn't be easier, with numerous photos for each and every sleight, with clearly written text that is easy to understand considering the age of the material. The book itself is only 59 numbered pages plus a few extra for old Davenport's advertising. Due to its size, I don't think my usual magical trip to the book chair is that relevant. Let's take a more formal look at this ingenious guide to cigarette manipulation. Published in 1934 by Edward Bagshaw & Co., this edition includes publisher notes, a foreword by Oswald Williams, and an introduction from the author. Part 1 is dedicated to unlit cigarette manipulation and begins with an explanation of the groundwork of cigarette magic. This is followed by the opening chapter on embellishments and contains some of Devine's favourite sleights, including the Perfection Vanish, the DD Thumb Slide Vanish, the Instantaneous Vanish, and the Definite Vanish. Here we can see the high quality of the photographic instruction and the concise text instruction to complete the study. The equipment section concentrates on 5 different ways of showing your hands empty, with the DD Thumb Palm Front equipment being one move that should please a few hardcore enthusiasts. I'll show you that later. The productions chapter provides for structuring a complete routine that includes producing multiple cigarettes and continuous cigarette productions. Part 2, dedicated to slights for working with lit cigarettes, has the same subheadings as Part 1, but has a bonus section dedicated to miscellaneous effects and fakes. The slights on offer here should not be disregarded for unlit cigarettes, as they work equally as well. They are designed for maximum safety, but the potential for burning is still apparent, and any manipulation with a lit cigarette should be done with due caution until fully mastered. Complete proficiency in cigarette magic can be taken further by adding a few ideas to your routine from the bonus section on miscellaneous effects and fakes. And so this book comes to a conclusion, with some advertisements from Davenport's past, when their address was 15 New Oxford Street and not Charing Cross Station. I will discuss the bonus section later on, but for now, let's go to my hot tips. So here are my hot tips for expert cigarette magic. Number 1. Other books for study. Scour the internet for works by Keith Clark, who wrote the Encyclopedia of Cigarette Tricks. Another source for study would be the Tarbell Course in Magic. In the original course, chapter 33 is dedicated to all things cigarette. And this is how I got my first exposure to this most fascinating genre of magic. There are a few reasons why using a real cigarette is not that great an idea. In comparison, a fake cigarette offers more possibilities and less trouble in manipulation, and here's why. Number 2. The weight. Compared to these fake cigarettes, real cigarettes are much lighter and much more fragile. This difference means that the handling for real cigarettes is a much lighter touch, otherwise damage will occur. With the fakes, there is much more control, with better opportunities for palming and holding out. They can also be customised to your hand size, which I'll get into later on. Number 3. The smell. As a non-smoker myself, I don't find the smell of cigarettes or the smoke they produce very enticing. I have tried to manipulate real cigarettes in the past, only to find that the smell that they produce on the fingertips not too dissimilar to a dirty ashtray. I think I'll pass. And this brings me to the social aspect. Smoking unto itself is no longer deemed an acceptable social pastime, with many public places banning smoke and smokers. So, are there any advantages to doing cigarette manipulation? There's one huge bonus, and it's a biggie. These funny little sticks are one of the most recognisable novelties on the face of the planet Earth. Whether seen close up or in between the fingers from a distance, everybody knows what you're holding. A lot can be said about human ingenuity when it comes to making something so insignificant, so recognisable. I always wondered what it must have been like for the magicians of the golden era of magic to live in an age when they were the most respected entertainers in the world. Imagine being in a time when video games, mobile phones, TV and computers don't exist. Imagine you're living in a world where you're forced to work at your vocation to the point of excellence without distraction. The manipulators of this time absolutely excelled at their craft, and with this book, you'll have the opportunity to pick up this book and learn a few of the pieces inside and excel. This is Gary Scott, finally closing the book on expert cigarette magic.